Hockey is religion on Saturday night north of the border. This is Air Canada Centre in Toronto. First of three meetings between the Caps and the Maple Leafs. We turn the mic over to Air Canada Centre public address announcer Andy Frost, leading to a special remembrance ceremony.
The Toronto Maple Leafs and the hockey world lost one of the greats. Pat Quinn passed away at the age of 71. Pat's passion, his loyalty to his players, staff, and family, his pride for his teams and his country, and his unwavering character saw Pat become one of the most revered and loved figures in the history of our game. On the same day we lost Pat, we also said goodbye to another Leaf, a longtime friend and one of Pat's teammates with the Maple Leafs, Murray Oliver. We ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and join us in a moment of silence to honor the lives of Murray Oliver and Pat Quinn.
Of all the money that e'er I had, I spent it in good company, and all the harm I've ever done, alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit, to memory now I can't recall. So fill to me the parting glass, and drink a health whate'er befalls. Then gently rise and softly call, good night and joy be to you all. Good night and joy be to you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise, remove your hats, and join John McDermott in the singing of our national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave. O'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all thy sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true, the strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Saturday night, the Washington Capitals and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin, Alan May is inside the glass locker. The thing that I remember most about Pat Quinn, 5 times my size, but as intimidating as he was that kind and cooperative.
They called him the Big Irishman. Definitely big in stature, Joe B, but big in heart and big in passion. I remember some of our times at the Cap Center. We had a chance to go in his office and talk to him. So excited to be part of this great game of hockey. I remember him as a kid playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, a crunching body checker. He's been a coach, he's been an executive, big part of the Olympic gold. We hadn't had one in 50 years, and Pat Quinn was the guy that led us. So he's going to be missed by all people that love this sport. He was revered and loved by all.
Rest in peace, Pat, and Murray Oliver as well. Pat Quinn, longtime head coach, general manager. Remember him in Philadelphia, Toronto, Vancouver, even a spell and a touch in Edmonton. Wonderful ceremony to honor and remember Pat. And now the Maple Leafs, who are beginning a 5-game homestand, will entertain the Washington Capitals in the white jerseys. It's the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet Mid-Atlantic. Special welcome to our viewers tuning in on CSN California tonight as we are underway. Referees tonight are Francis Sharon and Brian Pakmara. Greg Dvorsky and Steve Miller have the lines. Brooks Orpik will give some ground and play catch with John Carlson. The end of a 3-game, 4-night stretch for Washington. These Maple Leafs have been off since Wednesday when they fell in overtime to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they've been playing better. You know, they were booed out of this rink several games ago, and they've sort of righted the ship a little bit. Their last couple, much better.
Ovechkin with a rip. Nearly took the glove off of the hand of Bernier, and then he's crashed into by Tom Wilson, and that sparks a little commotion.
And that's what the coaches want. They want traffic in front of the net. Ovi with the great drive to gain speed through the middle, gets the shot to the net, but Tom Wilson gets there, creates some havoc, and that's exactly how you want to start this game after playing back-to-back.
And it's all about a lateral move by Ovechkin. That's why he's so successful on that left side, and there you see the collision at the end. They talk about net drives, getting to the net. First opportunity for Big Wilson here in the first off a pretty good looking shot against Bernier.
20-year-old Tom Wilson back in his hometown of Toronto. Jonathan Bernier between the pipes for head coach Randy Carlyle.
You know, you saw Tom Wilson take a punch in the face, but those are the things that happen when you drive to the front of the net, make contact with the goaltender, and you've got to let him know you're there. So that's an excellent start by the Caps tonight.
You're seeing the conclusion of Randy Carlyle's defense pairings top of the screen. Healthy scratches for Washington. Up front, Liam O'Brien and Michael Latta. And on the back end, Steve Oleksy. Oleksy made the trip into Toronto today. Took the warm-up skate, but is not given a jersey for NHL battle tonight.
They really thought that Oleksy had a very good camp. And coming out of camp, they had such great depth, sent him down to the American Hockey League, where he's played about 170-some games overall in his career. He's a great depth guy, great in the locker room, and had some toughness. You'll see him in the lineup pretty soon.
I wonder what that means with respect to Mike Green, the injured Washington defender. As Chimera slots one, the defensive play made there by Jake Gardner. Rolling back through center, Peter Holland, who's had a good scoring month. Puts it on the flank for Joffrey Lupul. To the front, it came right on through. Looking for David Clarkson.
Man, first odd man break goes the Leafs way and just couldn't finish. Was Clarkson at the goalpost. The Caps a little casual coming back on that, Joe. It was a 3-on-2 all the way from their blue line.
20-year-old Morgan Riley is soon to set sail for the Maple Leafs. We are scoreless into the second minute of this opening period. Justin Peters, another hometown boy, watching Orpik play it on around. Marcus Johansson didn't get it out. Nazem Kadri, top side for a long drive from Robidas to the gloved hand of Peters, and he'll hold. Make way for another hometown boy. Here's Craig's Voice on Value, presented by Morgan Franklin Consulting.
Well, I didn't think they had a good start last night, so be on time. Show up right on that start of this hockey game. Be ready to go. Make sure you're fired up. Have a first 10 minutes being very good, and make sure you show up to meetings on time.
Yeah, that's one of the most important things in hockey. You've got to show up to meetings on time, practice on time, games on time, and certainly you've got to start the game on time.
I've already contributed my $500 fine, boys. Both of the chuckling analysts making reference to my missed production meeting this morning. You don't want to hear the excuse. They'll make it up for you anyway. As Kadri fires, rolling in through the slot, the backhand from Santorelli. And a pad save for Peters.
He's got a sick pair of hands and always have, Joe. Every time we play against Santorelli and his team, whether it's Florida and Toronto, he's very creative with the puck.
Wisey's played for 5 different teams, like on the doorstep, beaten there by Bernier, who will cover.
Yeah, that's sort of an oddity, right? You bounce around, you have such a high skill set. It's probably consistency, but Peters, nice save here, comes off the rebound. Look at Santorelli. He's got a lot of moves coming in there, just can't finish. Peters, 2 good saves already here in the first.
Then it follows up in the offensive zone. Brooks Light gets a tap in near the front of the net, and Brooks has already established that he's here ready to play. Every game that he's been involved in this season, he's been doing the things that make him successful.
Booth flashing into the corner, occupied there by Jack Hillen as Light comes to help. Point position, the long drive from Holzer. That's armed away by Peters. Gardner towards the front, collected by Nate Schmidt. Gardner boots it for Winnick, working to his forehand. Switch it back up for Gardner, wrister, glove, save, Peters. Folks, Star Trek is presented by Toyota. Pinpoint shooters on display tonight.
Yeah, the goalies have to be ready for these guys, especially Phil Kessel jumping over the boards, and Alex Ovechkin for the Caps. Ovechkin's been red hot, 16 goals in 16 games in Toronto. By the way, 21 goals in 23 Saturday night hockey night in Canada games. And Kessel, 105 goals his last 4 seasons, top 4 in the National Hockey League.
Alex loves the bright lights. Bozak beats Backstrom on the draw, and a pad save for Peters on a Van Riemsdyk bullet. The follow-up from Franson that's deflected out of play.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Peters off the get-go. You know, we highlighted the goalies at the top of the show, telling everybody how difficult it is in this day and age to play back-to-back, and that's why Peters gets the nod. It's more mental for them, plus they're on the ice for the full 60 minutes, so he gives Holtby a breather after Holtby's had a tremendous run of late, especially in his last 8 games.
Blocker, tell me how far away Blythe, Ontario is.
About 125 miles, Joe B, right up north, not too far from Collingwood, Ontario.
Ovechkin maneuvers into the forehand, and a pad save for Bernier. Alex Ovechkin with Nicholas Backstrom and Tom Wilson this trip in the white sweaters. Backstrom on the curl and drag, buzzed one wide. John Carlson on the feed to the perimeter for Wilson. Deflection try Ovechkin, that's an easy stop for Bernier. Cycle game in effect now for the Caps top line. Wilson burrowing out of the corner. They even had Brooks Orpik activating there. All short-circuited by the Leafs, who don't get it out. Franson dished it ahead. Chimera says thanks. Finally, Van Riemsdyk, the New Jersey native, who will scamper back through center. On the wing for Bozak, to the front, deflected by Van Riemsdyk and wide. Robidas, former longtime Dallas Star, cross rink to Riley. keep it on the outside for Kessel. Screen developing as Riley snaps that one wide of the cage. Robidas up on the play for Kessel, the top gun for these Maple Leafs. Riley, switch it, Robidas. Had that one knocked down by Chimera. Jason at the end of his line chip will paddle it off the boards to a hard-charging Eric Fehr. Fehr leaning in on Robidas. This one clicks to the slot right on through. Holland's hand-to-head was snared. Marcus Johansson will deal it back in.
He telegraphed that pass, and if you telegraph passes like that, the third guy coming back, Mojo there, able to simply rip you off.
Joffrey Lupul just backed off the injured list. Deflected aside by Jack Hillen.
Great coverage by Hillen on that drive by Lupul as well. Excellent stick positioning. Made sure he controlled the gap the entire time, stuck with him, and made sure to get the puck out of the zone after.
Allen, we've crossed the 5-minute mark of the opening period. No score in this one. Shots on goal of 5-4 for Washington. Kuznetsov winds, fakes the blast, and put it off of Gardner.
Trying to hit Brouwer going to the net. Better serve for Kuznetsov, as they call him, Kuzi, to just let that one go.
Johansson fading away, gave it up. 23-year-old Peter Holland will scale in. Randy Carlyle wants the line change. Ice level look at Matt Niskanen off of his 3-assist performance yesterday against the Isles.
Yeah, running pretty hot. Points in 3 straight now for Matty.
Number 1 star in the game. Brooks Laich was covered up by Riley. Burakovsky for Washington, who tallied on a tip-in yesterday. Good hustle there from Beagle. Alzner winds and fires, deflected wide of the cage. The long rebound for Kamara. And then Kadri. Nazem Kadri looking to create. They want him to play more of a north-south game. Niskanen will play it along the boards. Kadri fenced that one out of the air. Laich, ducking under a hit. Burakovsky challenged by Komarov, who's been on a hot streak himself.
Caps forwards doing an excellent job of getting out and fronting those pucks at the point. Rather than stay back and let them be shot around, they're getting right in the direct sight lines of the puck.
Kessel off the steal, and a good play there by Brooks Orpik, among the NHL leaders when it comes to block shots.
Well, I mentioned telegraphing a pass. The Leafs have done it once, Holland, and now the Caps have done it once here in the first period. You've got to be better in hitting your man. You can't telegraph passes. Guys are so good at reading and reacting those type of seam passes.
Orpik and Carlson will give chase back into the Washington zone. John Carlson brushed it ahead. Dion Phaneuf was rattled at center by Tom Wilson. Capitals captain fumbling at his skates. Ovechkin hooks it on for Backstrom in tight quarters there with Bozak. Phaneuf will try the other flank. Gardner is an excellent skater. Snap wrist shot right to the shins of Carl Alzner. Lupul hit hard there by Carlson, bouncing off of that check. Joffrey Lupul, who's for a long time given Washington fits, regular season and playoffs.
He's a big-time power forward. He's got a wicked release, and with him out of the lineup, the Leafs had to rely on other guys. You know, last game he got back in the lineup for the first time in 7 or 8 games, and he's trying to get that injury under control. He played as a 4th line guy last game. We'll see how much Carlisle plays him here tonight.
He was dealing with a broken hand. Niskanen retreats for Washington. Right into your living room. The hit comes with Clarkson, another rambunctious sort of winger. Morgan Riley will give chase. Yevgeny Kuznetsov right there in his wake. Troy Brouwer gets into the act. Kadri covered him up. We continue 5-on-5 past the 8-minute mark and no score in Toronto.
The pace of this game is twice as fast as last night. The Caps are doing a great job of establishing net presence. One of the things they're going to have to do a better job, though, is making sure that they have guys back on that back check rather than creating and letting a gap get between the forwards and the D.
Allen, no more Thanksgiving turkey legs?
And I think all of it's gone.
Santorelli on the feed. Komarov fires. That's off the defender, Jack Hillen. Schmidt for Beagle behind him. This will be Jack Hillen to post up down the flank for Brooks Laich. Laich chased by Gardner. Ties him up along the backboards, 4 in the scrum, and Nazem Kadri, the 24-year-old London, Ontario native, sends it out there for Santorelli. He'll deal it in. The Maple Leaf bench wants the line change.
And Brooks Laich playing very aggressive down in the corners. One thing Brooks told press this morning after that first period. He said, you know what? I didn't even think about my shoulder. I was just thinking about playing well, and I thought he had a real good game last night for this Capitals club.
Played 13 minutes and 14 seconds, did like, in his return yesterday. Booth, another guy back off the injured list. He was bothered by a broken foot. That can't be good for a speed demon like him.
Yeah, this is season debut on home ice for Booth.
Point position, Phaneuf with a flamethrower. He didn't have much mustard on that wrist shot, but when Phaneuf has time to crank it up, he can bring it.
That was a flicker.
That was. Franson for Riley. Through center and into the corner. Alzner back there for Washington. Carl Alzner, his first NHL goal was here almost 6 years ago to the day. Ward with a good pressure. From his knees, Riley deals with him. Chimera is next in line off the lip of the boards, and then there's Stefan Robidas. 37-year-old blue liner. Watching Riley play it on around for Phil Kessel, who flicks it back to center. And all the way down, strong enough for an icing call. Folks, we want you involved on Twitter, as always, hashtag Capitals Talk. Which Caps player is sporting the best and worst mustache this Movember?
Mustache, huh?
Mustache.
Wow.
I think one guy might have both of them wrapped up together.
Well, well, well.
Wow.
Alan May weighing in right
Stepping
away.
up.
Checking out his phone for instant reaction.
I'm looking at the block shots. The Caps have 6 block shots already. The forwards are doing a great job of getting out to the point. They've got to eliminate all those point shots because the Leafs are doing a good job of getting traffic to the front of the net as well.
The Ovechkin pass back for Hillen gets the return. The feed down low deflected by Wilson, and Bernier was in the way of that.
You know, coaches always talk about puck touches, and you want your best players to touch the puck a lot. Ovechkin already 6 touches here in the first period.
Bozak taken to the boards by Schmidt. They set it up for Van Riemsdyk. Attacked there by Wilson. Back to point position. Phaneuf fires. That's blocked by Nicholas Backstrom. Van Riemsdyk challenged by Schmidt again as Backstrom lends support. Capitals have the puck. 9:09 to go in this opening frame and no score. First of 3 between these two. Caps are back in here early in 2015. Ovechkin tiptoes in against Phaneuf, captain to captain. Ovechkin's fancy pass collected by Joffrey Lupul.
That's one thing I always look forward to when the Caps play the Leafs. It's always captain against captain, Phaneuf against Ovechkin, both rock-hard competitors that love to throw around the body.
Yeah, neither of those guys are going to fool around with
No, there's not going to be stick checks, are there?
No.
I think Ovi's winning that battle. He's got 27 goals in 33 games against the Leafs, and it seems like he always has highlight goals against this team.
Pretty amazing, Alan, and especially so in this building. Caps fans are hoping that trend continues tonight. Lupul enters the zone. Poke check by Niskanen. Alzner shielding the forechecker away so that Johansson can play on for Brouwer. Good step up there, though, by Corbinian Holzer, the 26-year-old German, on the Toronto back end.
The way they're playing this game, there might be their ice slot may be over at 10 o'clock, Joe B.
Locker, warm up his bus.
Yeah, this thing is flying along.
Beagle through center. Fun for us, but no good for the commercial sponsors, as Bernier flags that one down. We've played 12 minutes and 9 seconds. Nothing doing on the scoreboard, but plenty of hits. Just ask David Booth. Crunched by Tom Wilson, making an impression already.
Yeah, has to walk in with Nick Backstrom, of course. Nick has assisted on 11 of Ovi's 12 goals here in the first period. Very active, nice moves, getting shots away around Franz and the D, around Phaneuf, always physical. I love the battle when we see captains against captains. Lots of touches with the puck for Ov and a lot of zone time in front of Bernier.
And he's sporting an amazing salad right now. What is it with all the hair, Alex?
Must be the month of November, Joe B.
Movember. Bozak wins the draw for Toronto in the blue sweaters here at Air Canada Centre. No score in this, the first of 3 meetings between these Eastern rivals. We're with you on CSN Mid-Atlantic and CSN California. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin upstairs. Alan May is inside the glass. John Carlson has the puck at center. Cross ice fling for Ovechkin. Deftly into space. Wilson made one more for Backstrom, but it was behind him.
He's got to put that puck to the front of the net. Nick's got a free lane. Just put that into the goaltender's hands. Look for a rebound in a situation like that.
I've heard you say it from time to time, Alan. One shot creates two chances. Backstrom on the delay at the line. The long wrister that's spoiled goes way wide of the cage. Bozak uncontested through center. Deals it in. Chip and chase to himself. Arm in arm there with Carl Alsner. Loose to the slot. Swing and a miss for Booth. Chimera scuttles this one into the corner. He did so from behind the center line, so that's icing against Washington. Folks, tonight's Cold Hard Fact is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Mr. Ovechkin, your table is ready in Toronto.
Pretty sweet. 16 games, 16 goals, 22 points, averaging about 5 shots a game. 8 of those 16 goals have come on the power play, and 3 multi-goal games. He loves playing up here in Toronto.
No doubt. Justin Peters looking on to his right from the Washington goal. Fair wins the draw for the Caps. Chimera will chip this one in. Gardner upended there. Chimera with a good lift check. Ward to the goal mouth.
Okay.
And it is Booth who will escape. David Booth 2-on-2, working with Daniel Winnick. Booth tried to slot that one. Fair was in good shape defensively as Ward will clear in. Chimera's at the end of his shift, but still has enough strength to go after Winnick. As Holzer turns the corner. Broward, fresh from the Washington bench, leaves it to Nate Schmidt, and then on for Jack Hillen. Stretching his legs into the offensive zone, he buzzed that one wide. On the regroup, Schmidt's pass, he stubbed it. Kamara looking for Kadri. He whistled that one wide of the goal. Ooh. Broward with a sturdy hit on Kadri as Riley steps and drives. The carry goes in off of Nate Schmidt.
Well, the Leafs get the first bounce. They keep it in. It starts with a heavy check in the corner. The play continues. The puck goes to the corner. Watch this hit right there in Kadri by Broward. It's kicked back to the point, and it's going to be a deflection right off the body past the netminder. No chance for Peters as you see the puck go right off. Schmidt in front of the net. No chance for the goaltender. 1 deflection, 2 deflection, and there it is past the catching glove. 2 deflections work wonders for the Leafs. They're up 1-0.
Riley's first ever goal against Washington and just his 4th appearance against the Caps. All 3 for Riley this season at even strength.
That's sort of like the one we saw last night that the Islanders scored late, Joe. Double deflection off the body. That one off the stick and the body of the Caps.
Anders Lee had that one. Carlson fires over the glove of Bernier. Morgan Riley is 3rd of the season at 14-15. Washington looks to respond. The centering pass there. Point blank. Bernier with a good save on Burakovsky.
Great patience by Brooks Laich to get that to Burakovsky. Fooled everyone. Looked like he was going to go short side on the goaltender, and it finds Burakovsky wide open in the slot.
Capitals have allowed Allen the opening tally now in 10 of their last 15 games as this is icing against Toronto.
And you don't necessarily want to do that against the Leafs, Joe. If memory serves me, aren't they like 8-0 when they score first?
That's right, they're perfect.
Yeah,
8-0
yeah.
0.
So now they have to do comeback. They have to play that north-south game that we've been preaching to get more shots here on Bernier.
Morgan Riley, Maple Leafs first-round draft pick back in 2012. Same summer that Nail Yakupov went #1 to Edmonton.
Yeah, you talk about draft picks, and it is interesting how this team is built. They only have 5 draft picks on this roster, and he has to be one of the star-studded ones that they have here in Toronto.
4:49 to play in the opening frame. Maple Leafs get the jump on the Caps inside of Air Canada Centre. They are pleased. We will return with more in a moment. Capitals fans keeping their chins up in the crowd here at Air Canada Centre. 1-0 for the Maple Leafs. Alan May is inside the glass.
You know, for a team that played last night, the Caps aren't supposed to have any legs, but right now the pace has been phenomenal. They're out hitting, out shooting, out shot blocking the Maple Leafs, and it's due to the management last night of all 4 lines by Coach Trotz, and tonight he's doing an excellent job of getting everyone on the ice. I know the Leafs scored first, but the Capitals are definitely had the upper hand here, getting in on the corners, crashing the net. They're doing everything they need to do to compete in this game.
See if that will turn in their favor. In fact, a goal from Morgan Riley on a magic puck. It looked like it hit two guys. It may not have.
Sure
Trying to
did look
figure
like
that out.
yeah.
An optical illusion, bouncing past Justin Peters, unassisted at 14-15, giving the locals the lead. Tom Wilson goes after Dion Phaneuf. Dion rides the big fella to the boards as we continue 5-on-5. Van Riemsdyk was parked at center. This will come all the way back behind Peters. On the flank, Wilson. From board to Carl Alsner. And he'll dump it in. Barry Trotz continuing to keep the shifts short in this opening frame. Along the lines of what Alan May was just discussing as Booth rockets down the dasher. Carlson staves him off. Winnick ran right into Joel Ward. Brooks Orpik to gather in for Washington. Moves the puck off the dasher, and it's kicked to center by Fair. Booth waits. Into a seam for Winnick, shouldered by Orpik.
Yeah, beautiful timing there by Orpik, stepping up and taking the body, not worrying about the puck. It was all about gap control that we always talk about and spacing. Beautiful by number 44.
Orpik leads the league when it comes to hits by a defender. We're past the quarter mark in the NHL season. This is a icing call against Toronto. Attention Dish customers, Dish may be dropping CSN Mid-Atlantic. That means you miss out on your Caps and Wizards action. Please do call 1-844-I-WANT-CSN or log on to iwantcsnma.com. Listen up, sports fans, the clock is ticking. Monday could be the day. Could be the day that Dish bids farewell to CSN. Please don't let that happen.
Yeah, weigh in when you have the chance. Right now, get on the phone or log in and give your opinions and get this deal done.
Booth fires that one that was rejected by Niskanen. Cruising back through center, Marcus Johansson going wide. His pass was erased by Robidas. Johansson swivels, gets a pick from Brouwer. Hillen inside Kuznetsov's pass, played away by Kadri.
He's got to have the mentality of shoot first. He's got to pound that puck, and I'm sure they're going to talk to him on the bench about Kuzi shooting that pill. He's got to think shoot first, be like Mojo, be like the Caps. It's a shoot first league, as Barry Trotz says.
Phaneuf pumps this one off of Peters. The rebound for Santorelli, and the Caps netminder was a quick stick there. Continuing 5-on-5, tail into the opening period. Franson. His wrister was blunted by Johansson. South of the goal line, there's Santorelli. Flushed out by Niskanen. Penalty call coming up. It's against Washington. The Toronto Maple Leafs are going to have a late first period power play when you return. 1-0 TO on C. Matt Niskanen toweling off in the penalty box. 2 minutes for holding. Maple Leafs lead by 1 on Comcast Sportsnet. We have McDonald's trivia for you tonight. Who are the 6 undrafted players to score 1,000 career points in the NHL? 6 undrafted players to score 1,000 points.
And another hint, 5 of them are in the Hall of Fame.
5 of them are in the Hall of Fame.
How good is that?
All right. Can I just ask a question?
Yes.
Does it include the greatest point scorer of all time?
Yes, it does.
Okay, because he would not have been drafted.
Exactly.
All right, got it. Okay, so start there, folks. You need 5 more. Power play for Toronto. You see the special teams numbers bottom of the screen. Leafs are in a 1-for-23 skid on the man advantage. Phaneuf, shaded by Lyke. Brooks Lyke with the intercept as Kadri's pass was picked. And then this will be an intentional offside against the Leafs.
And that's why they've adjusted their power play. Adjustments were coming, and this guy, Kadri, is going to be on the point, Joe. So they switched things up. You make adjustments when you're in that type of spin in the wrong direction. You mentioned the last 6 games, that 1 goal, the only thing Randy Carlisle's team has been able to muster with the extra man.
Beagle, Lyke, Carlson, Orpik, 4 on the ice in white to penalty kill for Washington. Dying stages of the opening period with the Maple Leafs in front. Morgan Riley has the game's only goal. More hustle from Beagle and Lyke on the PK. Carlson ventures in. Lyke down low. Swing and a miss. And And then the Caps will play some four corners.
Who's got the power play?
I tell you what, it's great having Brooks like back for the Capitals. You know, that first read that created the offside, stick, positioning, everything there. The battle in front of the net, almost getting a shot, the work in the corner, and then the heads up to move the puck out to the neutral zone to kill off some more time.
Folks just saw the block shot numbers, Alan, 11-1 in favor of Washington. Van Riemsdyk spins it to Phaneuf. Change it up. Kadri for Dion Phaneuf. He drives. That's cuffed down with Peters at the top of his crease. Kadri reloads. Phaneuf changing the point of attack. Kessel, who is a brilliant finisher. Final minute of the opening frame. Bill Kessel through the seam. Kadri whiffed on the wrister as Chimera came out to pressure. Van Riemsdyk looking for Lupul. Nate Schmidt was in the way. Joffrey Lupul to the point for Phaneuf off of his boot and back to center. 40 seconds with which to work in the opening period. Lupul turned back by Brouwer. Gardner will advance the puck for Santorelli. On the headman to Lupul. Fakes the slapper. Uses the boards for Cody Franson. Wrister on the way. They score.
Cody Franson has had some sort of month of November. He's right up there with JVR for leading this team in points. That's his 12th point this month. Moves to the middle, a little sauce, looking for that high deflection. Not sure if this hit anybody. Just a low shot, and there it is, squirting past Peters in front of the net. A line of blue and white, and there's the puck in and out on the power play. Leafs up 2-0.
If it's Franson's, it's his fourth. 3 of those 4 on the man advantage. That's a double whammy. A power play goal in the final minute of the period. 2-0 for TO. 19:37, the time of the goal. Ovechkin trying to get one back before the final horn. Komarov works back, one-on-one. Leo Komarov to the goal mouth. It dribbles right on through, and that'll do it for 20 minutes inside of Air Canada Centre. The Leafs kicking off a 5-game homestand in good form. Jonathan Bernier's boys have a 2-0 advantage. Justin Peters' team is in comeback mode. Lattice's Intermission Live is coming up on Comcast Sportsnet. Here's what we have cooking for you. Alan May is in town with us inside the glass, and he'll have a Caps player as an interview guest. Highlights and stats from here in the booth, and Locker to tell us straight. Saturdays are busy around the NHL. 12 games today and tonight. This one matters most to us, and Toronto has the advantage by 2 after 1. As we send you back now to the studios, Lattice's Intermission Live, Al Koken and Bring Up Maple Leaf fans. Second period is soon to start inside of Air Canada Centre. Washington Capitals on the road tonight with you in the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Braden Holtby has taken over for Justin Peters, leading the team out onto the rink for period 2 in relief.
And you see he's got 68 wins. That moved him up to 6th place all time. He moved above Pat Riggin last night. 6 shots for the Leafs. 2 got by Justin Peters. So a little bit of a shakeup by Barry Trotz to put the Holtby in net.
I was going to ask you, Locker, and also Alan May inside the glass. We saw Coach Trotz wake his team up with a timeout yesterday. Is this another way of snapping the boys out of it?
I think so. I think they're settling in there, and I think maybe he thought one of those could have been stopped to boot. So he's making a change to try to give a jolt to his hockey team.
Holtby made a pad save on a screen shot right off the bat. To the front, they score. A layup for Bozak. It's 3-0.
Well, no goalie is going to stop that as Air Canada Centre is erupting here. Just 23 seconds into the second stanza. Holtby in net. A turnover at the top of the circle, and they take it to the hoop. There's the turnover. They don't get it out. Now that starts the attack. Pretty good play in front, but watch Orpik had to play the 2-on-1 against their top line. Kessel will get an assist, as will JVR, and he finds Bozak going to the net. It's a tap-in off the left pad. No chance for Braden Holtby.
And that's one of those situations in hockey. Every single coach in the National Hockey League says you have to do good work at both blue lines, getting the pucks out of your zone, getting it into their zone at the other team's blue line. And because that puck doesn't get out, Ovechkin and Wilson are skating up, anticipating a perfect pass to take it up the wall, and they can't get back to the net in time to back check, and that's why the guy was wide open on the back door.
A very deep deficit now for Washington, trailing by 3 with oodles of time to go in regulation. Chimera collared by Gardner. As we start this second period, 5-on-5, just a single power play in the opening period, and Toronto converted it.
And that's the 30th goal of the season for the Leafs top line. And they've done a great job of keeping this team in games, played very well, done their job pretty much every night.
As Winnick flings one to the front, loose at the doorstep, it's jammed wide. It's a tidal wave now for Toronto as Booth was at point-blank range.
And that might have skimmed the outside of that post, Joe B. He was wide open after they disrupted the play at the Capitals' net area.
Working in Kuznetsov off the head fake. The backhand goes high on Jonathan Bernier, who has the 3-goal lead to protect in the nets for Toronto. Bozak has 10 tallies this season, guys. 7 of them are on special teams. Closing in, wrist shot from Kuznetsov. That was a bullet off the glass.
Yeah, he had 2 shorthanded goals in the last 2 games for this Leafs club, Joe B.
Quick regroup there. Kuznetsov sends it wide of the cage. Robidas on around for Kadri. He failed to clear. Johansson to the slot, and that wrister had a lot of starch on it. It missed the target. Santorelli crossing back through center. Kadri on the toe drag. Punched aside by Braden Holtby on for Justin Peters. Peters surrendered the 2 goals on 6 first-period shots. Franson had one of them, in fact. Kadri will turn. Very self-confident young man, in the words of his head coach, Randy Carlyle, who says he will use a sense of humor and some sarcasm from time to time to bring him down. Got a whistle here. We've got an interference call coming up. An interference penalty call coming up. Folks, the 2015 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic is going to be played January 1. Nats Park is the place. For more information on how to guarantee access to the tickets for that game, 202-266-CAPS, or of course you can visit WashingtonCaps.com.
Well, this is a way to get back in this hockey game. The Capitals on the power play. Kadri, who we were just talking about, has a seat for interference. Huge power play to give the Capitals the life they're going to need to mount a comeback.
Brouwer, Backstrom, Johansson across the top. Ovechkin with Niskanen in back. You see the special teams numbers for these 2 sides. Capitals have the best road power play in the NHL, humming at 35% away from Verizon Center. Johansson to point position, normally manned by the injured Mike Green, missing again tonight. Niskanen watching Johansson creep out of the corner. Backstrom feeds. Niskanen fires, deflected down and wide by Brouwer. Ovechkin lost his balance there in front of Holzer. Maple Leafs have it. Komarov working back through center, and he'll deal it in. Komarov, who played with Alex Ovechkin and Nicholas Backstrom on a line with Dynamo during the work stoppage most recently a couple of years back.
Reminds me a little bit like an Esa Tikkanen, Joe B, the way he plays. He's sort of a pest and agitator, but he's found some hands after returning to the Leafs after playing in the KHL for a single season.
Name is Russian. He was born in Estonia. He was raised in Finland since age 5.
I've called him a Finnish Russian before, haven't I?
All of the above. Caps man advantage, another 37 seconds. Full blast comes Yevgeny Kuznetsov, and then Andrei Burakovsky. Kuznetsov feeds for Carlson's one-timer wide, big rebound to the slot. The backhand chance for Ward didn't get through the pack, and Winnick funnels it around the curve with help from Komarov. It'll come back and clear down. As you watch Carlson head back up ice, the Leafs will be at even strength in 7 seconds. Yevgeny Kuznetsov to the end wall. Phaneuf there off the boards and out of play. And it caromed out of play, so there's no delay of game. The assist leaders are presented by your local Hyundai dealers. Let them assist you in scoring the lowest prices on the hottest lineup in America. These men excel a man up.
Crosby one better than the pack of Backstrom, Letang, and Shattenkirk. Power play assist meisters. The Capitals always rely on Nicholas Backstrom. He is a conductor when it comes to the execution of the Capitals power play.
Backstrom with a 4-game point-scoring streak. Jack Hillen has the puck for Washington as Toronto gets Kadri back on the doorstep here. Pad save, Bernier. Those pads behaving like pinball flippers as Kadri rolls one towards the front. It's covered up by Braden Holtby.
Holtz is going to make sure of that one, even though it's trickling towards his net. The Capitals got a little bit of jump in that power play, got some shots to Bernier, just unable to beat the Leafs goaltender. The Leafs throughout the years have gone back and forth with their goaltending. They think they found their #1 guy in Bernier here in Toronto.
One of the things that's going to happen the rest of the night here, the first line for the Caps, out of their 9 shots, has 6 of them. Other than that, you've got Brooks, like, and Andre Burakovsky who have played. They've got the other 3. So we've got 2 Caps lines who don't have a shot in net. They're going to have to get that situation under control and make sure they're starting to get a lot of rubber at the front of the Maple Leafs net.
Allen, you and Locker of exactly the same mind as Riley fires. That's armed away by Holtby. The point that Locker was addressing during our Lattices intermission live, with Clarkson turning the corner, fumbling the puck. The escape route for Jack Hillen. As Hillen will clear it along, Brooks Laich gets in there against Gardner, takes him right to the boards. Riley on for Lupul. Stick check by Chimera. Both teams changing personnel. Backstrom offers this one to Karl Alzner. Alzner with some giddy up, floats it to the cage, gloved by Bernier.
Not a bad idea to shoot from anywhere. Alzner did just that and went hard to the net. When you're down by 3, you've got to put everything towards the net. Ovechkin getting lots of shots and touches in the first period. 8 offensive touches, 6 shifts against Bozak, Kessel, Van Riemsdyk. Carlisle playing that trio a lot against the Ovechkin line, and obviously the pair with Phaneuf on their blue line.
Backstrom won 10 of 17 yesterday against the Islanders. He controls this one for an Ovechkin BB. A pad save, Bernier. Backhand chance, and Bernier robbed Tom Wilson. Orpik lets it fly, knocked down in front by Dion Phaneuf, and Van Riemsdyk will pound it to center. Ovechkin offers it for Brooks Orpik, who played his first NHL game here almost 12 years ago. Then with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Orpik had a couple of full seasons preparing for NHL play in the American Hockey League. Backstrom for Carlson, a bomb that was deflected high. Kessel will send it the length with enough pace for an icing against Toronto. 3-0 Maple Leafs. Game notes. Nicholas does a lot of teaming up with Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah, 15 points in 13 games, assisted on 11 of 12 of the grade 8. The Capitals points in 12 of 15 against the Leafs, and Kessel finishes in the top 10 in scoring each of the last 3 seasons. The only skater to accomplish that.
See a bit of the Fu Manchu mustache on Phil Kessel. Remember our Twitter question, which Caps player sporting the best and the worst mustache in Movember? Trivia question was, which 6 undrafted players have scored 1,000 points in the NHL? One of them did it very recently. Off the boot, Braden Holtby has taken over for Justin Peters. The Maple Leafs welcomed Holtby to the game with a goal from Bozak just 23 seconds into the period. So technically 2 tallies 46 seconds apart. Late first, early second. This is offside against Washington. 6 minutes and 50 seconds gone by in period 2. JoJo's got some catching up to do on Comcast Sportsnet. Our Sport Fans of the Game are brought to you by Sport Automotive, Chevrolet and Honda. Be a Sport Fan too. Visit sportautomotive.com. Maple Leaf fans and Caps fans, for that matter, standing to recognize one of Loop's troops inside of Air Canada Centre. That's how they recognize the military men and women here.
And the Capitals huddled up, Joe B, as we had a break there, and you could see Barry Trotz very animated, talking to just about everybody as they huddled around. I think the message was, let's keep going. You look at the last 4 or 5 minutes, they've had some tremendous chances in front of the net, off the face-off. They're getting some pucks to Bernier, and he's probably saying, look it, boys, let's just chip away, get one, but to do that, we're going to have to replicate the last several shifts that were very good against the Leafs.
Have to get one to ignite the rally. Nearing the midway mark of regulation time. Schmidt on the money to Burakovsky. Andre Burakovsky, great moves. One hands it to the cage, but Komarov was there defensively. Burakovsky feathers this one to the slot. Gardner with a takeaway, but he failed to clear. Along the boards, Johansson. Intended for Brouwer. That was thieved by Kadri and Gardner. Nazem Kadri on the delay. The drop for Santorelli. Shakes loose from Schmidt. Dion Phaneuf with a wrister. Deflected off the outside of the pad of Braden Holtby. He went to the splits. Franson did not keep it in, as the Leafs will reorganize at center. Line change coming for Washington. The speedy Nate Schmidt revolving through center ice. Ran into a roadblock. Franson dumps it in there. The Leafs would have been offside had Kessel touched that one. Dion Phaneuf encouraged to hurry by his defense partner Franson. Kessel out there to Bozak. Nice passing play. Van Riemsdyk hooks off. Works the cycle for Franson, who gets in from the point. But Wilson did his job defensively. 3-0 for Toronto. Riley and Franson in the first. Bozak here in the second. Robidas to Bozak. Blocked away by Brooks Orpik. Alex Ovechkin turning and burning through center. Ovechkin, toe drag, beautiful. He was upset there. He drew the penalty.
There's no argument on that. Robidas was pretty upset about it, but Ovi put the screws to him on that one. Incredible speed, and then the stick, the coordination. Great work. He's been going all game long. I watched him in warm-up. Ovi did an extra special job of making sure his legs were ready tonight. Look at the drive here. Goes through, and then Robidas comes and grabs a piece of him and pulls him down. But it's all about the legs right there. Wow. Great work by Ovechkin.
They usually let that go to a veteran like Robidas, 37 years old. 5 different NHL teams, still giving it to the referees as one of the assistant captains. Ovi draws the penalty. Come back in order with a power play strike here.
Well, last power play, the Caps didn't have a shot. So, guys, they've got to win this face-off, and then they can't pass up any opportunities. The key is to get the puck to Ovechkin, let him get the first shots, so the Leafs overplay him, and then move it from there.
Power play stats packaged by the UPS store. Niskanen works it on the perimeter with Andre Burakovsky closing, firing one high and wide. Man advantage for the Capitals, trailing by 3 on enemy ice. The feed inside for Ward, pad save Bernier, and this one is covered up at the doorstep.
And that was a good one. You can see sort of the second wave of the Capitals' #1 unit. They keep Ovechkin out there, but put Burakovsky on the half wall along with Ward in the middle. And there's Wardo, best chance of the game. The follow-up by Kuznetsov. Had he got that cleanly, guys, the Caps are back in this hockey game. Look at Kuznetsov. Kicked it up. Had it went foot to stick, the Caps are within 2.
Everybody checking out their handiwork on the overhead scoreboard here at Air Canada Center. Brouwer bunts this one to the flank for Backstrom. Johansson's feed was just deflected aside. Niskanen straight away. Backstrom's next. Coordinating with Niskanen. Ovechkin wanted the one-timer. He was jammed. Winnick had a stick in the passing lane. Backstrom, beautiful feather for Brouwer. Troy Brouwer offers to Niskanen. Distributing to Backstrom. Johansson on the one-touch at the doorstep now. Ovechkin digging Johansson. It came right on through.
Leafs doing a great job of having their sticks in the lanes right now, keeping the Caps from getting those rebounds.
And Bernier made the save on a floater from Niskanen and had plenty of help covering up.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a change-up. Niskanen snapped his stick in half. Good passing play. Faking shots freezes defenders. There's a flurry in net in front of Bernier. Nothing went in for the Caps, and then the snap of the stick sort of flutters right into Bernier. His career totals 133 games, 62 of them wins. Pretty fancy goals against and a good save percentage.
Second year for Bernier with Toronto. He's a former Los Angeles King first-round draft pick. Alex Ovechkin leaning in there on Winnick, who one-hands the puck back to center. Capitals more than halfway through this man advantage. Kuznetsov gliding in. Burakovsky to Kuznetsov. The two youngsters playing on the outside. Yevgeny Kuznetsov waiting for a seam to open up. Carlson unloads. It's blocked by Winnick. Out of play.
Yeah, great block there by Winnick, reading that pass back. Big windup by Carlson. We're seeing different personnel being employed by Barry Trotz. 3 different units already. Watch Winnick just reach out, stick on puck, and there it is. The double leg slide, but that hits his stick. Nice play by Winnick in the penalty kill situation.
Barry's boys are down by 3 if you're just tuning in. The NHL on CSN Mid-Atlantic and CSN California. Joe Beninati and Craig Laughlin upstairs. Alan May is inside the glass as we shout out thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts throughout this Saturday. North of the border in TO, first of 2 visits for the Caps to Toronto. Maple Leafs come to DC just once. That'll happen on the first day of March. Brouwer pumps and scores! Troy Brouwer gets one back for Washington.
And guys, I wanted to say they needed to get Daniel Winnick off the ice because he was doing such a great job of being in the right place, getting the body, getting the stick in the way. He goes off the ice, and Troy Brouwer has way too much time to use that back scratching one-timer in the slot. Great heads-up play all the way around. Backstrom puts it exactly where it needs to be, but everyone's worried about Ovechkin. They're backed off. Troy Brouwer has just way too much time to shoot that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful goal.
Yeah, everybody collapses to the front of the net. Watch Franzen, watch his partner there, Riley, and there's the slap shot. No chance for the goalie Bernier. That's one of their set plays, and it pays off for Brouwer. Twining out in a hurry.
6 tallies on the year for Troy, half of them on the power play. 4 of his first 5 goals came at home. This one's in Toronto, and it gets Washington started in the right direction. Now, can you validate that goal with another one? Kadri on the drop. Clarkson fires. I guess we got the answer.
Well, David Clarkson, who had such a miserable year last year, whether it be a suspension, a 10-gamer, injuries, things like that after signing the big deal, he rips it. And this is what he was known for when he had a 30-goal season, the way he can shoot the pill. And this one, he just unloads, double screen, uses the defenseman Alsner and rips it blocker's side. The Caps were looking for a response of their own. Instead, the Leafs get them back to a 3-goal deficit.
23 seconds after the Brouwer marker, Clarkson gets his 7th. The 30-goal year you referenced with New Jersey back in 11-12. Toronto right back in front by 3. Nate Schmidt will give some ground at center as these 2 teams skate 5-on-5.
Well, it's like Brooks Lake was telling everybody this morning, Joe B, that they cannot rely on just the power play. The Caps, if they want to get this game and get back in it, they're going to need to score 5-on-5.
Johansson trying to stuff twice there. Riley and Bernier combined to thwart him as the Maple Leafs have a potential 2-on-1 developing. Santorelli steps to the middle, fires a stick save for Hopi, and he'll melt it. 11:45 gone by in period 2. High scoring middle frame all of a sudden. Brouwer on the power play. And then Clarkson right back at you on CSN. Well, Toronto has a 4-1 advantage. McDonald's trivia. We wanted you to name 6 undrafted players who scored 1,000 points. Marty St. Louis just did it. I offered Wayne Gretzky to start. I think Adam Oates is on this list as well.
Yeah, so is Dino. And Peter Stastny. And Joey Mullen.
Joey Mullen was on my list. Paul Stastny's dad, Peter, was not.
That's a pretty cool list, isn't it?
Yes.
It's amazing, and 5 of them in the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to Martin St. Louis doing it recently.
The big question there, is he going to get in the Hall of Fame, guys?
Yes.
I'm with you. Late start, 1,000 points. Probably would have started when he was 20. He'd be up about 1,400 points.
Make it 3 for 3 for me. MVP helps. Successful playoff performances in the past help.
And he seems like he's getting better with Father Time. He's just done an incredible job of taking care of himself and always plays at such a high intensity level.
That's the voice of Alan May. He's inside the glass for us this evening at Air Canada Centre. Joe and Craig joining you from on high. This building opened up in February of 1999. Where does the time go? as Chimera clears to center. It's a 4-1 lead. Washington received a power play goal from Troy Brouwer a few moments ago, and David Clarkson came right back to respond and make the advantage 4-1.
And that's the save they needed to have from Braden. It was a curl and drag. He did change the angle of the shot, but Braden Holtby would generally stop that shot, Joe. It was a nice-looking shot, but they needed a save when they got that power play goal.
Holtby on in relief of Justin Peters, who surrendered the first two tonight. Booth working back on the flight plan with the center iceman Trevor Smith, 29-year-old British Columbia native. Chimera sends it ahead for Eric Fair, picking it up on the run. Fair works in, finesse, lead for Schmidt, stick save Bernier as there was traffic from Ward in front. Van Riemsdyk golfing at it. Ovechkin puts on a juggling exhibition. Alex's pass interrupted by Van Riemsdyk. Backstrom on for Wilson. He fires off the blocker of Bernier, and it's out of play. Caps are in Toronto tonight. Hadid shows us the road ahead.
Well, the Caps will get a couple of days off, at least get some home cooking for a day, Joe B. They'll face off against the Vancouver Canucks, who, in my mind, may be the surprise team of the West, doing very well out in their conference. The Canes, the Devils, the Lightning, all on the road for the Caps, and we return home Thursday, December 11th versus the Blue Jackets.
All of those games on Comcast Sportsnet. It'll be the second time the Caps have squared off with the Canucks on Tuesday. The earlier one coming back in the first month of the season.
Yeah, and they're top of the Pacific Division with Anaheim right now. Both those teams with 33 points.
Santorelli working wide. He and the Leafs will host Dallas on Tuesday. The first of two meetings with the Stars in the month of December. Komarov was knocked down by Niskanen. Wilson trying to stir it up. As Phaneuf will drive it in, Randy Carlyle will make some changes. Matt Niskanen waiting, finding Ovechkin. Buzzes one rink wide for Wilson. This is icing against the Capitals.
Yeah, trying to go east-west on that play was OV. Very engaged in this hockey game, all over the ice, getting involved. The puck seems to be gravitating to OV, and the fans obviously come out to see their beloved Leafs, but they also come to see arguably the best goal scorer in the league, Alex Ovechkin. Guys like Ovechkin, Stamkos, all marquee players here in the city of Toronto.
Wound up with a game winner yesterday against the Islanders, so he has 4, tied with Montreal's Lars Eller in that category. Niskanen fenced in by Clarkson, who's the most recent on the scoreboard for Toronto. 4-1 Leafs, 6:10 to go in period 2. Corbinian Holzer. Sounds like he should be a king. And I don't mean LA king. Sounds like royalty. Corbinian Holzer.
Well, we saw him firsthand. Didn't he score his first goal ever against Newby?
Yep, he sure did.
Did he play in the Bundesliga?
Oh, of course he did.
Okay, there you go.
3 full seasons in Dusseldorf.
There you go.
Of course he did.
Of course he did.
How dare you forget that? Holzer will scale in. Schmidt is there for Washington. Coughed it up for Joffrey Lupul. Lupul double teamed. Help comes from Clarkson. Holland is next in line. Little shake and bake move on Hillen, and Jack's on his way to the penalty box. When we return, the Maple Leafs have the man advantage. Jack Hillen, you've been a naughty boy. Get to your room. T.O. has the lead by 3, growing late in the second.
It's all about curling and dragging to change the angle of the shot. Here it is from behind. Look at he slows down, moves laterally, and that puck, Joe B, now in the age of butterflying goalies or hybrid or whatever you're going to call them, the lower part of the net is not there for Clarkson. He rips that about 14 to 16 inches above the pad once Holtby goes to the butterfly. That's a good snipe by Clarkson of the Leafs.
Face-off time in the Washington zone. The Caps won 62% yesterday against the Islanders. They were down in face-offs after 1 tonight, but Chimera puts one on the win column. These power play stats are packaged by the UPS store. Dion Phaneuf ready to work now, back up ice. Braden Holtby in the cage now for Washington. This is his first relief appearance of the season. Spelling Justin Peters from the outset of the second period. And the Maple Leafs have welcomed him to the game with 2 tallies and a 4-1 advantage, trying to build on that now. Kadri spins to Bozak. One more to Van Riemsdyk, all the way through to Kessel. Phaneuf walks the line. Kadri stumbles. Van Riemsdyk for Kessel. Phaneuf lets this one fly and a stick save for Holtby. Did you hear all the men's leaguers in the crowd after Kadri took a little misstep there?
That was like the second time he's done it, though, on the power play.
Bang, bang, Bozak to score.
Caps don't have an answer to this Leafs power play here at ACC. It looked like JVR who threaded the needle again. Good work down low, throwing it around the net. It's actually Kessel. JVR, Kessel, Bozak. They've already scored one. Now they hook up again. It's a beautiful redirect as Holtby is caught in between there. There's nothing he can do there, Joe. It's a deflected puck. Bozak redirects it. He's got a pair on the night, but it's all good puck movement by the Leafs under a lot of pressure by the Capitals penalty killers.
And the key to that power play by the Leafs is they move the puck all the way around the horn a couple times. As they go behind the net, the Capitals do a double defenseman jump in the corner, totally exposes the far side. Then you have a huge gap in the middle as everyone goes there, and all of a sudden, you know, they're up 5-1, but it's about getting the Caps taking advantage of the overpressure in that corner.
Bozak has goals in 3 straight, boys. He's got 2 goal games in 2 of the last 3, the other against Detroit.
It's amazing to me, 5 goals on just 14 shots now for Toronto.
Yevgeny Kuznetsov feeds. Schmidt closing in, lets it go. That's deflected, and Bernier stays with it.
That little play right there sort of tells you the tale of the tape for the Caps. Absolutely no puck luck in this hockey game. Schmitty, a great opportunity, so wide open. The puck is stopped halfway to the net, and the Caps are reeling here in the second, down by a 4 spot.
You know, I said the Caps in the first period were doing an incredible job of keeping the pace and tempo of the game and keeping up with it. But in hindsight, you look back, maybe they should have slowed the game down, because right now there's just too much back and forth. And, you know, the Caps are going to have to open up a little bit or tighten up and scratch and claw every few minutes for a goal.
Phil Kessel jetting back through center. Zigs and zags, and he's content to dump it in. Matt Niskanen to play for Washington, getting help from Nicholas Backstrom. Franson pinching. Backstrom works the puck ahead, but Bozak was right where he needed to be. Bozak spins. Attacked there by Backstrom. Bozak looking for a hat trick in this second period alone. Kicks it from skate to stick. Holtby's best stop there, and Kessel. Rebound, another one on Bozak, and he'll squeeze.
Unreal stop. Bozak looks up to the roof of this big building and can't believe it. They were just moving the puck around. The Capitals' inability to get the puck out of the zone. The Leafs keep it alive. Strength by Bozak there on Backstrom. Fires it across. A bang-bang play with Kessel and Bozak. That trio has been all over when it comes to the Caps in their own zone. 2 brilliant stops keeping this at 5-1.
Bozak's been a dominating scorer here at Air Canada Centre, as the graphic indicated. Toronto all over Washington. 5-1 late second period. 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from another Lattices intermission live.
Well, I know who's not going to be happy, and that's my wonderful mom, Joe B, watching in Waterloo with my sister Callie and all my aunts and uncles. A big hello to all watching us here tonight.
Make that 2.
Indeed.
Ooh. Joel Ward working in. Fires a pad save for Bernier, who, when tested, has been shot. Fair. Leaves it along the boards. Beagle gives it a nudge. Ward is there, posted up with Robidas. Schmidt, cross rink, Hillen fires. That one caught Bernier in the shoulder as the defender, Winnick, toppled him down.
Man, he didn't even see that shot coming from the blue line, but that's the type of luck he's had in the cage, right off his right shoulder.
Officials asking the players to move the puck. They do cooperate with Brian Pakmara. Schmidt, the wrister that was squelched by Smith. And it'll be Booth absorbing a hit and then playing back to center. 150 with which to work in the middle period. It was 2-0 Toronto after 1. It's 5-1 at the moment. Tom Wilson clears in. Chimera is there, slings one towards the goal. Carlson fires, that's a routine save for Bernier. Folks, once again, we remind you, Dish customers, Dish may be dropping CSN Mid-Atlantic. You could miss out on your Caps and Wizards action. Call 1-844-I-WANT-CSN. That's 1-844-492-6827. CSN needs your help, folks. Please tell Dish you want the great sports programming provided by our network. Give them a call.
So many great programs, so many people involved to bring you Caps hockey, basketball, you name it, across the board. Try to stick with us and make your voice heard. Let's make sure we make this happen, Joe B.
Countdown is on. There's some who believe that Monday could be the last day, so you need to make your voices heard quickly. Saturday night, north of the border. Hasn't gone so well for the guys in the white jersey. Backstrom trying to change that here with a win of the draw against Kadri, who beat him swiftly.
Sort of looking like, you know, you look back at the remnants, 3 and 4 nights, Joe B, around a holiday. It's just very difficult.
Facing a Toronto team that's been off since Wednesday.
Yeah, and throw in the holiday in there that they had off. Yeah, indeed, but you got family, you got friends. It's a big day, and now you have another back-to-back, you know, last night at home and then here tonight in a fired-up Air Canada Centre.
Alex Ovechkin's glittering totals, the numbers against Toronto are eye-popping. You think back to that 65-goal season in 07 and 08, the most in the NHL since 1996. Carlson flings it at the cage. Bernier reacted late, but he reacted well to keep it 5-1. Orpik takes the hit. Kadri kicks it loose. Komarov's out of there. He was dumped. Penalty coming up against Washington, as this is deflected off the rink by Orpik.
Man, it's a tripping call, and it took away a scoring opportunity, and that's why they called it. Had it been anywhere on the ice other than the center zone to create that 2-on-1, he probably would have let it slide at 5-1. But here's Orpik being taken out along the wall. Watch Nick Backstrom. He's on the backside, and there's Komarov taken off, moving his feet, Joe B, and that causes the tripping penalty and a late power play for Toronto.
Nicholas sits in shame for a moment. This Toronto man advantage, very efficient tonight. You mentioned they were 1 for their last 23 prior to tonight's action. You can see those UPS power play numbers, and you can wince in the process. Santorelli fidgets along the boards, looking for a window. Clarkson, ditto, down low Santorelli, pad save. Clarkson another chance, and Braden Holtby was at the ready. Final 40 seconds of period 2. 4 goals on the board in this frame, 3 of them belonging to the boys in blue. Fransen's a long way from the goal. Gardner lets it fly, knocked down in front. Alsner was playing goalie in front of Holtby, and the Caps clear. Should Toronto not score here, the power play would carry over to the third frame. Gardner's pass is deflected, and it's out of play about 3 rows into the spectator seats. Ten of the last 13 games, guys, for the Washington Capitals. 10 of the last 13 have been decided by 1 goal. Yesterday's wasn't, and today's, for the moment, doesn't appear to be by game's end, but you never know. Toronto 11-8-3, 5th in the Atlantic Division. Washington at 10-8-4, residing in 4th in the Metro. The Rangers leapfrogging them into 3rd with another victory today. Phaneuf content to hang out behind the cage. Second period ends right here. 5-1 Leafs through 40. Gladys Intermission Live is coming up on Comcast Sportsnet tonight. It's the anniversary season for Washington. We'll remember one of our favorite blue liners. Highlights and stats, lowlights and stats. Locker on the telestrator, always a highlight. Ooh. Too many red lights for the guys in the blue jerseys. It's 5-1. Here's Keely Fulton with a Geico Sportsnet Central update on CSN. Our Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Capitals hockey tonight being brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. Lattices, all systems grow. Mazda, conviction, creativity, courage. This is the Mazda way. The AT&T Aspire initiative. And by the Washington, D.C. Buick and GMC dealers. Visit a Washington, D.C. Buick dealer and save thousands. Washington took 2 of 3 from Toronto last year. In this building, they were beaten in a hard luck shootout. James Reimer made 49 saves. Tonight, the Maple Leafs appear to be well on their way to cruising. It's 5-1 after 2. We asked you on Twitter, hashtag Capitals Talk, which Caps player is sporting the best and the worst mustache this Movember.
Alan May was all over that when we first asked that, Joe B. Here's some of the answers. Ovechkin, straight out of the 80s.
Hillen and Aaron Volpatti. Volpatti still on the injured list. Majestic. Well done. Worst is Kuznetsov. There's Greg Smith, athletic trainer, doing his part for Movember.
And there's Holtz on the bench.
There it is. Ovi, best and worst.
And worst.
I think that's well put.
Alzner, the best. Liam O'Brien, the best. Backy, the worst.
It takes Carl about 6 minutes to grow a mustache.
Creepy.
Oh, boy. Fans, you are beautiful as
Yes,
always.
you are.
Hashtag
Smitty
Capitals
gets some
Talk.
love.
Yeah. Guess who's back in goal? Justin Peters started the night, and apparently he will finish it. As the goalie carousel makes its way, and Braden Holtby, a.k.a. Wolfman, has a seat, yielding the crease to the Pete Dog.
Rotating goalies.
5-1 for Toronto. Just tuning in with us, Riley and Franson for the Leafs in the first. Bozak twice, and Clarkson in the second. Washington's lone response from Troy Brouwer on the power play. Man advantage is where Toronto starts this third period. They have it for another 40 seconds as the Caps will sail one down. Dion Phaneuf being badgered by Brooks Laich all the way to the end wall. Phaneuf, the Maple Leaf captain, slowly through center, pawns it off for Bozak and then Van Riemsdyk. U.S. Olympian snaps it around the corner curve. Cody Franson, the 27-year-old BC native, delayed offside against the Leafs, so Niskanen won't be in any hurry. As the Leafs tag up, the offside's washed, and Alzner pounds it all the way. Joe Beninati and Craig Laughlin upstairs for you. Alan May is inside the glass. CSN Mid-Atlantic and CSN California tonight. It's the first of 3 meetings for the Caps and the Maple Leafs. The next one coming up in this barn, in fact, in early January. Alex Ovechkin, for one of the few times, has been quiet in this arena as Bernier makes the stop.
So the key to this period, guys, is for the Caps not to embarrass themselves. They've got to make sure that they're not stretching this out. They've got enough goals scored against them. If they want to get back in it, they can't be too aggressive on the offense. They've still got to make sure that they can maintain a gap, have to have bodies in front, but most importantly, good decisions at the blue line, and don't pass up shots.
Mind your P's and Q's down the stretch if you're Washington. Build your way into some momentum, perhaps, for that Tuesday skirmish with Vancouver. Canucks playing well. Bernier is doing pretty well in the nets for Toronto just the same. I know the score is lopsided, but he's made a couple of flashy stops when called upon. Alex Ovechkin wheels one ahead for Backstrom. Phaneuf will gather in. Bum rush there by Wilson. Dion Phaneuf will use the window to get it back to center. On the run, Santorelli with Kamara. To the high slot. Good read by Wilson. Gardner trailing the play. Schmidt was there for Washington. It's Komarov down on the deck. He was.
Now they're going after Ovechkin.
Yeah, he was hit on his way back to the bench.
Yeah, and Gardner looks like he's in the grill of OV. Komarov slowly getting to the bench there. The big Wilson out there trying to swat at anybody that'll tangle with him. Clarkson's trying to get loose to go
Clarkson
with
off
Wilson.
the bench as well, I think.
He already did that once,
They should go
right?
after him. Yeah,
He did it once.
A
Got
guy
10
does that,
games.
just skate after him and create the fight. He's gone.
That would be a lengthy suspension. Chimera
Yeah, and Chimera's
voicing his
telling-
opinion about just that topic.
Yeah, they're going to talk about that. Can't come off the bench like that.
Referees tonight are Brian Pakmara and Francis Chiron. Randy Carlisle, arms crossed, back behind that Toronto bench, enjoying a 4-1 lead on the, or rather 4-goal lead on the scoreboard.
They're going to discuss it as a group of Zebras before they make the final decisions.
Let's see what happened to Kamara.
Yeah, he's on his way to the bench, got hit by the blind side there on the shoulder, and now Ovechkin goes off, and he's tangled up with anybody that would grab him in blue and white, and that was Gardner, but notice who was involved also. And then as Kamarov's coming to the bench, that's when Clarkson jumps over the boards.
The referees don't know what they're doing in this situation.
Clarkson comes back on the ice. Shoulder to shoulder with Marcus Johansson. Face off here, and we stay 5-on-5 after all that.
Yeah.
Gardner propels it ahead, looking for Joffrey Lupul. Leafs are happy to have him back in the fold. Loose puck here for Holland. It skips away. It's Justin Peters back in the cage for Washington. You are not seeing things. He started it. Holtby played the second period. Peters back in there for the third. Clarkson deals to Lupul. Lupul harassed by Schmidt all the way to the wall, and Johansson will skip it but not out. Clarkson from a sharp angle. Ooh, fancy moves and a kick-out save. Clarkson to the slot for Holland, and then Lupul snapped it high.
And Alan made a good point about really bearing down here in this third period. You don't want to turn it into a shinny hockey game, Joe B.
Well put by you. You enunciated cleanly
You always tell me to do that.
and clearly, especially with that word.
Or I get in trouble.
Shinny. Clarkson using the cage to make that pass to himself. Johansson sends it on through Brouwer and down. I always notice you using that kind of word when the game is no longer in doubt.
Yes, I often do that.
Holzer scales in from center. Booth, arm in arm with Alzner. Two teams are at even in full strength. We're 3.5 minutes into period 3. Like looking to get it out. He failed. Robidas wouldn't allow it. Robidas's another guy with his first NHL goal against the Caps. Long, long time ago in D.C. against Ole Kolzig when it was called MCI Center.
Unreal.
Riley waits. Hiding and lurking back behind the cage. Beagle was there to the rescue to mind Trevor Smith. Niskanen off the boards. Burakovsky sends it only as far as the line where Robidas will gun it in. Burakovsky, 4 tallies on the season, now in third place alone when it comes to rookie scoring in the NHL. Wilson will thump one in from center. Ovechkin paddles to Wilson. Wilson greeted by the hit of Riley. Van Riemsdyk and Kessel explode back through center. Phil Kessel looking for a late guy. Backstrom was in good shape. 3-on-3 on the counterattack with Ovechkin. Offside against the Capitals. Folks, one more friendly reminder. Dish customers. Dish may be dropping CSN Mid-Atlantic. That means you'll be missing out on your Caps and your Wizards. Call 1-844-I-WANT-CSN or log on to iwantcsnma.com. Tell Dish not to drop your favorite teams. Honestly, folks, the clock is ticking. Call Dish and tell them you want CSN Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, it's really down to the wire. You want to be able to watch Caps Vancouver come Tuesday, Joe B. We'll have all the coverage right here on CSN in high def as always.
Same night that Toronto will play host to Dallas. The Stars are here. So Toronto plays 5 straight at home, 8 of 9 at home. It's lopsided because the World Junior Tournament will uproot the Leafs from this building. in late December and early January.
Yeah, starting December 26th, always a great featured junior tournament with scouts galore from all over the world and every National Hockey League team. 7 in a row on the road, then 15 of 20 away through February 6th. But don't feel bad for them. 22 of the first 33 because of that have been here at ACC.
They are just 7-6 at home overall, not including what may happen tonight. Lupul exploring at center with Santorelli. Goes wide on Schmidt, drops it to Kadri. Trying to swivel away from Eric Fair. Fair with those long arms and legs, able to trap him. Eric has a seat at center ice, courtesy of Lupul, who will check out for the line change. Gardner, he's fun to watch skate. See him in the morning up close, and he can fly.
Love all his statistics on his lines except the last one, which is -11.
He's like -8 in the last one.
Yeah, I know.
Brouwer trying to forge it past Booth, who wins the battle, sends it wide. Robidoux keeps Toronto humming offensively. Clarkson took a bump from Schmidt. David Clarkson still tied to the boards by Nate. Clarkson's pass to the front was answered by Kuznetsov. Brouwer 2-on-2, fires, and Bernier was on the angle. Troy Brouwer, the lone goal for DC, came on the power play in the second period. At the time, it made it a 2-goal game. The Leafs wasted all of, 23 seconds to advance the lead back to 3 again. Burakovsky with open ice sends this one wide to the cage, as Winnick will clear.
Are you into numerology at all, Joe B?
Occasionally.
Okay, 23 seconds left in the first, they score. 23 seconds into the second, they score. 23 seconds after the Caps goal, they score.
How cool is that?
And
23 just had the puck.
And what does that mean?
I don't know.
You wore that number.
Go ahead. There's a lot of guys who've worn that.
Who are we celebrating tonight prior to the game?
Wow, how about that? Orpik fires and a pad save for Bernier. You and I and Alan were all wearing PQ lapel pins.
Pat Quinn.
For the late Pat
wore
Quinn.
23 here in Toronto.
Brooks Orpik through center. Pat Quinn, who passed away this week at the age of 71. Wilson back to point position for a Carlson drive that's armed away by Bernier. Quinn, the longtime head coach and GM here in Vancouver, as Wilson revolves back. Snapshot, score! Tom Wilson squeaks one past Bernier.
Yeah, Bernier sitting real deep in the net, and that skips right past his catching glove. And you can see the excitement of the Capitals bench, and Willie coming home buries it. Second goal of the season, 5 career goals now for Tom Wilson. Just shooting the puck, he's on a sharp angle. Phaneuf keeps him to the outside, and there's the shot short side that Bernier will stop 9.9 times out of 10. But the importance of shooting the puck. He's sitting deep, he's on the goal line. You can see his reaction. Way to go, Willie. Put it on the net. The Caps within 3.
Another thing to point on that goal is both defensemen holding the red line. John Carlson in the middle, bumps it back up to Carlson, who gets it over to Wilson. I was worried he was going to pass it off. He has that tendency to go to Ovechkin and Backstrom a little too much, but taking advantage of making sure you shoot when you have that opportunity.
4th time that Tom Wilson has faced his hometown team. First time he's scored against them. Wilson's other goal this season came on home ice against Arizona. This is 2-on-2 with Booth to the corner, trailed there by Carlson. 5-2 now for Toronto with 11:50 to go in this regulation time. Fair waltzing back through center. Plays the boards to himself. Looks for a late guy. The pass that was blocked by Winnick. Rister cuffed aside by Bernier as Fair found himself in the slot there.
That was probably one of the tougher saves Bernier's had to make. A bouncing puck, a knuckle puck, and he just swatted it away. There was no chance to catch a puck like that.
Niskanen on the hand along. Gardner was waiting at the Toronto defensive blue line. Nazem Kadri scoops to center for Lupul on a little bump set for Santorelli. He ran into Alzner. Justin Peters will keep this going. Niskanen wants to reverse. Dodging the forecheck, double team, takeaway for Lupul. Santorelli working the cycle. Kadri chipped it further as Huguenin handheld look at the fray behind the Washington net. Brouwer goes one-on-one against Gardner. Brouwer never pulled the trigger, and Corbinian Holzer will bounce it back to center. Carlson on the rewind. Brouwer. Late guy is Nicholas Backstrom. The pass that didn't arrive, and it'll chase Brooks Orpik back into the D zone. Capitals still missing Mike Green, Aaron Volpatti, John Erskine, and Dmitry Orlov on the injured list. Steve Oleksy has been summoned from the American Hockey League. He's a healthy scratch. Backstrom was there, took a bullet pass from Ovechkin. Feeds it up top to Orpik. This way for Carlson. Wrister that deflected wide of the goal. Chip to the slot again from Ovechkin looking for Wilson.
Caps doing a much better job this period of stopping on pucks. The first two, they were guilty of rolling away from it, not stopping an activity on the boards. And here, they're creating offensive opportunities by stopping, facing the puck every chance they get.
John Carlson was ripped off by David Clarkson. He and Holland going to the goal. Good recovery, though, by Carlson. Wins the battle and plays it on out. It's off the rink for a whistle. 9:43 left in this third period. 5-2 for Toronto. Give Tom Wilson some love. The Toronto native on the board against the Leafs. When you need it, Justin Peters has had 2 different tours of duty in this game.
And for the Caps, Troy Brouwer buries a power play goal, his 6th goal of the season. He needed that because his last goal was November 8th versus Carolina.
And for the Leafs, Tyler Bozak, goals number 10 and 11, 2-goal game, 0 hat tricks. It's the 10th time he's had 2 goals in a game.
And Allen, he has been robbed twice for that 3rd goal tonight already. Face off in the offensive zone for Trevor Smith. Ward ready to race back through center with Chimera and Fair, the gang green trio, if you will, from a season ago when they wore the green sweaters in practice. Lupul waiting at center. Turned back by Jack Hillen. There's a penalty call coming. It's going to be a trip. Washington with a much-needed man advantage. Trailing by 3. The Caps' next home game is Tuesday, December 2nd. That's this coming Tuesday. Vancouver's in town. Visit WashingtonCaps.com or call 800-745-3000 to get your tickets.
Well, we've talked about their #1 power play on the road. 4 for 5 the last 3 games coming into tonight's action. And they already have one against the Maple Leafs. Wouldn't this be interesting if they get one here?
Brouwer, Johansson, Backstrom, Niskanen, and Ovechkin, 5 on the ice. Power play stats are packaged by the UPS Store. We thank them and all of our generous sponsors for their support so far this season. More than a quarter of the way through 2014-15. Niskanen at point position for Ovechkin. Alex through the window for Backstrom. Closing. Feeds for Johansson. Nicholas already with 2 assists tonight. Niskanen fires. Bernier the save. Brouwer reloads, and Bernier got a piece of that. Winnick for the Leafs, finding room to clear. 8:45 in the game, 80 seconds in the power play. Niskanen on to Johansson. Beautiful goal yesterday against the Islanders. Backstrom delivers for Niskanen. Ovechkin's one-timer erased by Holzer.
That was a great sacrifice there by Holzer. The big body laid right out there. Beautiful block.
Nicholas Backstrom delays. Trying to isolate on Kadri. Backstrom again. Holding on to it. Johansson will give some ground. Backstrom. Deep slot Niskanen to the gut of Bernier. Maple Leafs able to clear. Power play will expire in 35 ticks. Brouwer on the entry with Carlson. John Carlson already with 2 assists tonight. Feeds it on around to Johansson. 1 more to Backstrom. Nicholas, take your own shot. There it is, off the pad of Bernier. Ovechkin keeps it moving. Brouwer gets topside to Carlson. This way to Johansson. Carlson one-timer, pad save Bernier. Smith to the boards for Winnick. Good lift check from Backstrom. Carlson able to keep it in. 3 seconds on the man advantage. Ovechkin buzzes one to the front off of Robidas, and Trevor Smith deals it down.
Well, it proves that your best penalty killer has to be your goaltender. Case in point, Bernier. The Capitals had real good pressure on this late third period power play. The goaltender had the answers.
Tyler Bozak drifting wide for Van Riemsdyk. He sent it wide of the goal, and then Kessel from zero angle missed the target. Back to 5-on-5. We leak below 7 minutes to go in this one. With the NHL on CSN Mid-Atlantic and CSN California. We welcome all of our West Coast viewers to the East Coast action tonight. Eastern rivals out of the Metropolitan and Atlantic divisions. Toronto has a 5-2 lead. All the goals coming in the first two frames. Van Riemsdyk drops it off for Kessel. Bill Kessel hits the brakes. Lets this one fly off the goalie's stick of Justin Peters. Then he got his shoulder over to beat Gardner. Franson, long range, no worries. Off the blocker of Justin Peters. Peters started this game, was lifted after the first. Holtby came on, surrendered 3 goals on a dozen shots, and Justin's back in there to mop up.
Back to that power play, guys. The Capitals had 5 shots in that power play, and right now they're out shooting the Leafs 12-2 here in the third period.
Overall for the game, Allen, 35-22. In favor of Washington. Nazem Kadri occupied by Hillen, and ow, he took him face first to the glass.
And that's sort of a surprise when you're playing the Leafs, right, Joe B? They allow a ton of shots, one of the highest in the NHL per game.
Chimera goes wide. Late guy is Ward. Pass was deflected away. Kadri has an odd man rush developing. A 3-on-1 potential. Kadri, great play by Hillen on the sliding snowplow. Riley fires, that misses the target. Nazem Kadri regroups. Maple Leafs soon to the power play. Delayed call against Washington. Just tipped wide by Winnick. Maple Leafs are buzzing. 6 attackers on. Bernier to the bench on the delayed penalty call against Washington. Robidas feeds. Van Riemsdyk to the front. Winnick. Van Riemsdyk again. Outside to Robidas. They're playing keep away. Stefan Robidas. Van Riemsdyk. Through the window for Santorelli, blocked, and the Caps go shorthanded. Call is interference. Maple Leafs go to the power play. 4:55 left in regulation. To you by Timberland Pro.
Joe B, the teams have combined for 67 hits, 35 of them from the guys in white in this hockey game. Niskanen involved, good stand-up right there by Carlson. OB gets creamed out by Holzer down low. Good follow-through on Kadri behind the net. Joe Ward and company involved, the guy we just saw in the corner in the box, 2 minutes for interference.
This is a Toronto power play unit tonight that has redeemed itself. Power play stats packaged by the UPS store. On the season, they came in at 18.5 overall. They were just 2 for, 7 last year against Washington as the Caps took 2 of 3 from the Leafs. Bozak to Van Riemsdyk. James Van Riemsdyk to Phil Kessel. Kessel with a play and the formation developing. Goes on the interchange. Play to Phaneuf. Franson. Beagle put a skate in the lane, and it glances off of Jay and back onto the Toronto side. Just 4:15 left in regulation. Capitals trailing by 3. Phaneuf gliding into the zone. Van Riemsdyk was stacked up with Brouwer. Alsner drills it clear. Joel Ward will serve another minute in the penalty box. Dion Phaneuf lazily out of his own zone. Kessel finessed around the sprawling Jay Beagle. He gave him a little shot to boot. Bernier with 33 saves on his ledger. Clarkson for Riley. Both of those two with their names on the score sheet tonight. Clarkson back to point position. Riley will offer to Gardner. Fires and scores. A deflection in front. Joffrey Lupul and friends to celebrate.
$1:35 into the power play, and again, it's a redirection in front of Peters. They keep the play alive. Clarkson's had one of his better games here tonight. He's really been on the puck. There's the slap shot, and there's Lupul in front of the net. And once his arm goes up, it looks like number 19 may have this. We'll take one more look. Did he get a chunk of that after the slap shot? That's a question. Lupul and the Leafs, any way you cut it, have a 6-2 lead here in the third period.
Craig, by my count, the first time this season that the Capitals have surrendered 3 power play goals in one game. Surrendered 2 a couple times, but the Leafs are 3 for 4. Man up. An icing call against Toronto with 3:13 to go. In this one, Joffrey Lupul. Such a impressive skill set. You watch him work through a practice, the way he can skate, stick handle, and shoot. He has a great deal of gifts. Jeep shows us the shots on goal tally.
Yeah, all Caps, all 3 periods, better than the Leafs.
Ovechkin with a laser that went right over the head of Bernier right off the draw. Backstrom kicks it loose. Nicholas Backstrom.
There they go.
There's a fight going on between Holzer and Wilson.
Big Tom getting the left jab, going, waiting, trying to time it. Doing a great job of getting his right free, but you got to keep that chin out, keep it up. That's a little old-fashioned fight.
Yeah, Holzer last year, by the way, fellas, had 104 pins with the Marlies when he was sent down.
Second bout in as many days.
And the referee's down. He's the guy that's hurting. Yeah, or the linesman. He really took the brunt of that fall, and he is down in the corner still.
That's longtime NHL linesman Steve Miller making his rocky way back to his feet.
He looks a little woozy there as he got up there.
Dabbing at his face, and there's the connection to the nose of Miller. 6-2 Leafs, back for this one's conclusion after this. Linesman Steve Miller is feeling much better. Maple Leafs have a 6-2 advantage over the Washington Capitals tonight. On the Toyota League leaderboard, Craig, these blue liners enjoy contact.
Hey, take a look at the top of the pack. It's Orpik. He has a couple tonight now with 89. Polak out of the lineup here in Toronto, the second big popper. Gudas and Regier round out our top 4 heavy hitters.
Roman Polak missing with a knee injury tonight. Alex Ovechkin digging in, getting set on this face-off in the offensive zone with Nicholas Backstrom.
Alan May, you were involved in a lot of battles. How tough it is? How tough is it to get away from those linesmen?
Well, you know what? You've got to want to get away from them in the first place.
Bernier made a pad stop there on Alex Ovechkin.
You know, one of the things the linesmen have to be very careful of is they've got to make sure when they're going into those altercations, they go 2 at a time, not just 1, because that's how a player or the linesman can get injured themselves.
Guys, I've always wondered why it is that they don't wear any gloves or protection on their hands.
Yeah, I never understood that either.
You're down on the ice sometimes like that, and you get stepped on. Oh, my goodness.
And you might see some Kevlar gloves come into play in the future. You know, they have them for socks to prevent cuts. Even dropping a puck, Joe B, you get whacked by sticks about 20 times a night.
Yeah, that's my point, too. As Gardner closes, he has a pair of assists tonight. Gardner shimmies down. Badgered by Joel Ward. 2:10 left in this one.
There's our new business.
Okay.
Joe B and Locker's gloves.
There we go.
The biggest thing will just be trying to get one guy to wear them to be the first guy, because I wouldn't want to be that first guy.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you look so cute in your mittens.
It's
Can't
all
you just
in
hear it?
marketing, fellas. You know that.
Can't you just hear the players chortling? Oh, those mittens are really cute.
Little problem at the bench, it looks like. Could be too many men. They're definitely talking to the Caps at the bench, or it's an offside.
It's an icing.
Or an icing call.
Joel Ward didn't quite get to the red line.
Got it.
That's the same linesman that took the punch in the beak, so.
He's okay then. Locker, revisit your Voice on Value, presented by Morgan Franklin Consulting.
That was about being on time, having a good start in this hockey game. You needed an ACC. You know, after the first couple of minutes, it wasn't a bad start, and then things just sort of disintegrated for this Caps team on the road.
It'll also be helpful if you set your alarm for AM, not PM.
You had a little tough time with that, didn't you? It's because you went to bed too late. You weren't, your mind wasn't ready.
Good friend of ours said these games don't put themselves together. AM, Joe. AM, not PM. Ovechkin able to play it on out. Alex Ovechkin full blast into the offensive zone with Robidas there in tow. John Carlson for Yevgeny Kuznetsov. Waits, delays, and drags. Tried to bank that one in off of Bernier. Kuznetsov, who was praised for his performance yesterday, playing on a line with Marcus Johansson and Troy Brouwer. John Carlson to an open Marcus Johansson in the final minute of regulation. Johansson broke his stick. Helpless feeling along the boards. Brouwer. Lost there to Franson as the Leafs try to build some momentum. Joffrey Lupul. Clever moves through center. Lost the handle. Johansson back the other way, 3-on-3 in the final half minute of the game. Brouwer towards the goal, and Bernier turned it aside. Caps will square off with Vancouver on home ice. That's Tuesday night. Toronto entertains Dallas. The Leafs will go in off of a victory. It'll be their 12th on the season. Air Canada Centre faithful rising to their feet. A convincing win for Toronto over Washington, 6-2.
The Leafs go to 12-8-3. The Capitals will fall to 10-9-4 after this setback here in TO tonight.
As the Capitals file off to the exits, the Maple Leafs salute. 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third for Toronto as we watch Tom Wilson's handiwork in the third period. He's our Caps player of the game, sponsored by the Palm Restaurant.
Joe B's second goal of the season for Big Willie in his hometown. 5 shots, a bout, and 4 hits. He's all over the score sheet.
And hockey fans, you can enter to be the Palm Fan of the Month at thepalm.com/fan.